When parents complain that my children are not listening to me, I'm telling you, they're not grateful for you. Companies expect women to come to work during the period. That's like expecting a man to come to work at midnight. Why are you opportunistic? Why are you with people whom you don't trust? Tulsidas said, if it's raining gold also, don't go to a place where you're not valued. How many couples exist in the world who don't trust each other? How many parents don't trust their children? How many children don't trust their parents?
But can we misjudge somebody?
I saw Kali in a full group that day, taking blood, drinking blood. Try going to office, corporate employee, put ashes on your body, go naked to office, see what happens. Grow your hair like mine, jatas, and then you go.
क्या जय श्री राम की नारे लगा रहे?
Babaji is always available to you.
Can you talk more about Kula Devtas?
Rama 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 Rama. Oh Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Rama Rama. Oh Rama 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 Rama. Oh Rama 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 Rama. Oh Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Rama Rama. Oh Rama 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 Rama. Oh Rama 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 Rama. Oh Rama 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 Rama. Oh Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Rama Rama.
Amazing.
Namaste.
Namaste, Guruji. So today, since we're sitting here in this beautiful and serene location, looking at the fire, I thought you could tell us a little about devotion and how can one really ignite and flame the fire of devotion within them.
It's really hard to explain this, but most people are not really devoted. They are some kind of low-level atheists, okay? Like on low-key atheist. Everybody. Because they're in a big scramble to do everything themselves. And really you can't.
But why do you say atheist?
I mean low-key. They'll go to mandir, sir.
Oh, like that.
But
Okay.
in the real, when push comes to shove, they're depending on their own strength. They're lifting on their own weight. They're not letting go, We went for a swim, right? You have to let go in the water. So it's that. If you trust fall, then God will catch you. That's devotion. You should try it, But people want to control everything. So
But would that not, how does one not kind of deflect accountability?
how do you know your power? You stop doing things and see what all happens without you.
Anything outside of my life can happen without me.
Even your life can happen without you. And it does. It happens by the grace of God. That's really how it happens. By Sri Ram's grace, everything happens. So we're sitting here, there's this wind blowing. What are we doing? You ate something, did you think of how to digest it? No. But there are certain things that we overthink. Whereas we got to be more in a state of flow. And that's not possible without devotion. So if you really want to ask me what devotion is, it's a state of flow in which you let go and you're not trying to control everything and think about everything, Like Lao Tse asked the centipede, which food do you put first? Sorry, not Lao Tse. Chang Tse asked the centipede. It has 100 legs. Hey, centipede, which leg do you put first? Centipede is like, he can't really figure out which leg he want to put first. So when you don't think about it, hundreds of things get coordinated. When you obsess about it and try to control it, nothing gets coordinated. Devotion is your quality of attention to the world. Is your attention very focused in trying to control everything, or is it just like a child in the arms of the mother? Like a child going pillion on a bike. What do they do? Or sitting in the back seat of the car. Chilling.
But wouldn't that validate even the amoral kind of tendencies within us if we just go with the flow, you know?
What is moral and what is not moral is decided by your goals. If you don't have goals, everything you do will be immoral only. Okay? When I have a goal, we don't do amoral things. When we have a goal, we have something to lose, which is the goal. When you have something to lose, you will behave properly. Okay? So morality is totally dependent upon whether you have a goal or not.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a clear goal, then of course you can't be moral.
But the objective goal of a criminal and scale of morality is different than.
Yes. See, in our in yoga and Siddha Yoga, this is how it's defined. The right and wrong, dharma and adharma, right and wrong, are highly dependent on and totally dependent on only one thing, the goal. So is it right to kill someone or wrong to kill someone? And then people say it's wrong to kill someone, but really that's not what you can tell a soldier who's guarding the border of India.
Yeah.
He'll say, no, if anybody crosses the border, I will shoot him.
And he would be right.
And he would be right. And that would be his dharma, isn't it? So there's nothing that's absolutely wrong or absolutely right. Everything is wrong or right depending on...
Because the soldier on the other side has a dharma to kill him, so there are...
Yeah, so...
It becomes contextual.
There are a few things that are absolutely wrong and they're called Mahapap. And they have been listed down in Devi Purana. Those are the things that we should completely avoid. Yeah. And unfortunately for everyone watching, alcohol is one of them. Okay. So it's alcohol, it's waking up a sleeping person incurs a lot of Mahapap, equivalent to Brahmahatya, equivalent to killing a teacher of the Vedas. Brahmahatya means to kill a teacher of the Vedas. So killing a teacher of the Vedas, waking up a sleeping person, separating a mother from its child, which all the corporates do. Whenever a lady has a child, they expect them to be back at work in like a month. Whereas in other places, they give you like 1 year off. But in a lot of places, like they expect you to come back to work. And separating a mother from a child at any age, as long as it's a child, you shouldn't be separating. So there are a set of Mahapaps that are listed, and I've made videos about it too. That's the only thing that's absolutely adharma. But every other dharma depends on the goal. So if you don't have a goal, you'll never be able to tell right from wrong, and you'll keep arguing about it, that whether it's right or wrong, you know. So devotion is doing your dharma and letting everything be. Like Arjuna had to do on the battlefield. He said, karma neva adhikaraste, ma phaleshu kadachana, that one. Right? So saying, you only have authority over your actions, not on the fruits. Stop trying to get the fruits. Do your best action and get out of the way. That's the fire of devotion. Isn't it? You have to be so relaxed in such a parasympathetic arousal that music will come out of you. Then you can have devotion. So devoted people frequently break into song. You'll see it. Because they're so light and so happy. Because they don't have any burden. They're given all the burden to Rama. Now they're chilled out. So easy. If things don't work out and you didn't get what you wanted, you didn't reach your goal, that's the time to learn. You learn something, you make corrections and you move on. Why is everyone getting punctured when they fail? Nobody's been able to explain to me why they should get punctured when they fail. But they say, Guruji, I'm punctured. But why? Why are you punctured? You want to fill yourself up with energy? Then be devoted. Say, one more thing to let go to Sri Ram and be relaxed. It's like a muscle, man. You'll first day, how much can you lift in the gym? 5 kgs is a lot then. But as you grow, you lift more.
But often I feel the flow state has certain misunderstandings. Wherein, say for example, if I have decided to get up in the morning and do a meditation, then there's a certain sense of striving involved in that if I'm trying to break my limitation.
This is called, this indiscipline is due to bad lifestyle. That's all.
Hmm.
See, when the sun goes down, you shouldn't get any light. You should be like us. Maximum, you should have some natural light.
Hmm.
Isn't it? People would do this podcast in a studio at the same time. It's hardly 8 o'clock now. They would do this in a studio at the same time with bright light shining on them.
Hmm.
Guess what? That guy's melatonin is wiped out. He can't get sleep properly that night. He has to take pills to sleep. And such a person will not be able to get up and do sadhana because they don't have any kind of motivation.
Hmm.
If you fix your lifestyle and you start respecting the cycles of the sun, and when the sun comes up, you're up with the sun. When the sun goes down, you go down with the sun. And you wind down your activities and then you just relax. It's a time for you to rejuvenate the night time. It's not a time for you to party. But people go and party, right? Especially on the weekend. They have to drink to forget their stupid corporate job. So now they're just really messing up their health. What devotion can you expect from such people? What sadhana can you expect from such people? It's not going to happen. So first lifestyle, then sadhana. When people come to me, I tell them this is the lifestyle you have to follow. You follow for 3 days, and then only I'll take you as my student. And once they follow for 3 days, then I tell them, come on, now we'll do some yoga. And they're up. They're up at 3:30 in the morning waiting for my yoga class. You know, I mean, waiting for some uh, some space to do the yoga class and maybe some sunlight to come out. So as soon as the sunlight comes out, they do it. Outdoors. I don't teach indoor yoga. I kick everyone outdoors. That's the thing. It's not hard to be devoted when you live in natural surroundings like us, man. We're half the time in the jungle like this. Or next to the river, which is, there's a jungle, yes, a river. Right? So when you're living like this, you'll obviously wake up in the morning. Now you're going to sleep here only with us today. Okay? And you'll see that you'll wake up in the morning. The first light of day and you'll be up. Isn't that wonderful? So that you're in a cycle then.
No, but
What will you do after waking up, man?
Hmm.
You'll exercise. Maybe you'll go for a swim. You'll probably do some meditation, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the place is like that. If you live in a stupid environment which is totally opposite to human beings with 5G and that and this shining down on you, of course you can't do sadhana. Why do you think sadhus live in the mountains? Because you can't take the way you guys are made. I mean, even I can't take. I wish I could sit back in the mountain, but my guru sent me here with a mission to create awareness before people go and kill themselves. Right now, everyone's suicidal. They're doing slow suicide because they don't have this discipline. They live in unnatural ways. They start eating after sunset. You can't eat after sunset. You're not supposed to. It's not good for your body. 10:30, 11:30, swigging something at 1 o'clock. What's going to happen to them? What sadhana will they do? Sadhana is not for everyone. It's for the elite. It's not for everyone. People seem to think and feel entitled to devotion and sadhana. It's for the elite people, man. The kings of kings used to have devotion, like Shivaji Maharaj. They ran the kingdom only on devotion. What do you think Maharana Pratap did when he went and attacked someone? He shouted, Jai Mahakali.
Yeah, I guess what I was trying to say was that how do you put in a sense of striving in the category of flow? Because most
striving
people,
and flow don't go together. You
They
don't
don't.
have to strive. You just have to follow natural cycles. You see, if the river current is going that way, you'll lie down on it, you'll reach the other side. Because of the current. You don't have to swim. You just have to float. And you reach the other side.
so you're saying all is effortless if
All
one
is
aligns
effortless if you're
themselves?
in the right direction, no? You have to align yourself in the flow of nature, the flow of electrons in nature. Charge yourself up with the flow of electrons in nature. It's a little bit of science, but you have to learn it. If you learn it, then there's not striving is definitely not the striving and what is that word that young people use? Hustling. Yeah, my God, I can't take that word. Just stop that shit because that shit is killing you slowly. Slow suicide. It's the truth. Striving is unnatural, man.
So against
Do
hustling
you
and
think a
grinding.
Malabar squirrel, which really puts so, is the most athletic thing in the jungle, okay? Malabar squirrel. Like more than monkeys, it's more athletic than monkeys. And do you think it's striving? No, man. It's understanding the bend of each tree and it's like launching itself from the bend of each tree. That's how it is in nature. What do you think these fish are doing? Striving? What do you think the eagle is doing? Striving? It's following natural wind patterns, making its wings in such a way and following gravity. It's using gravity to dive down on its prey. You know? No animal is striving. They're using nature. They're powered by nature. They're connected to nature. They are nature. But the human being has separated himself from nature in so many places. So then he has to strive, no, because there's no battery. Battery drained out. When your battery is drained out, of course you have to strive. When you're on full battery, what's striving? Why are people not full battery? Because they're not in touch with nature anyway. Nothing natural. Even their food is not natural. I eat once a day, but I eat real food. But people eat some Maggie and some stuff that's considered a dish. I wouldn't touch that.
Okay, so before you came into this alignment within your own self, there was a point where you were not aligned when you've spoken about your early life.
Yeah, maybe
So,
when I was
before
meeting my teacher for sure.
Right. So, like before your 30s, when you were doing the hustling and the grinding.
Oh, no. I never hustled and grinded. I started my first company when I was 13. I met my guru when I was 12. I started my first company when I was 13. We didn't do no hustling, no grinding. I had 5 employees and the 6 of us were making more money than all our parents put
Wasn't
together.
there suffering involved? Weren't you suffering in some capacity
Just
before
nothing
you
at
met your
all.
guru? Like, for
No,
example-
before I met my guru, I was getting bashed up.
Right.
Yeah.
And before you met him for his spiritual teachings also.
But I'm telling you that to be in alignment with nature, you don't need a guru. You just have to be in alignment with nature. I used to still wake up at 3:30 in the morning. And I would go to sleep early. Like I finished playing in the evening and go to sleep. This is the 70s, man. In the 70s, there's nothing. There's something called TV that's come and only the rich people have it. We don't even have that. I didn't have these distractions that these kids have, you know. Like people can't live without their mobile. They don't know anything without the mobile. They can't even do anything. Like we used to use bank accounts without mobile, and I still know how to do it. I don't have GPay. How do I make a payment? Says people. Like, well, you pay with a check. That's what we used to do. So we didn't have all this technology and its radiation that comes with it, and that's escalated like 200-fold, 2,000-fold, I think, right now. So people's brains are cooked with microwaves, and also the power grid is at 50 hertz, which is a half harmonic of your mitochondria's frequency. So it's going to affect your energy if you sit near electrical stuff, just because it's 50 hertz. And your great LED lights that you put at night flicker at 50 hertz, affecting your mitochondria again. Did you know this? And people are sitting with lights, artificial lights at night. And then they're saying, how can I stop hustling? You can't. You can't stop hustling. You
For
have
clarification, you're saying after the sunsets, which is,
Yeah, after the sun sets. And even
usage of
when the sun is up,
lights.
don't use artificial lights because they have a flicker. Your laptop screen is made of LED. That also has a flicker. It flickers at 50. Not any hertz. 50 hertz. Exactly half harmonic. Why not screw up our mitochondria by making the power grid exactly half of our mitochondrial frequency? How did they know it? I don't know. Sometimes it feels like it's done deliberately, all this. Just to keep people weak. I don't know. Not sure. Anyway, I don't care. The solution is simple. Just avoid it. You have to become a champion at avoiding this EMF and all these kind of artificial radiations. If you're able to avoid these artificial radiations, then what happens is that you get in touch with your true nature, and then you don't have to hustle anymore. You're in a flow state. Suddenly you're grateful to God. You look at the moon. How did you feel when you saw the sunset today?
Yeah.
Like we were at Hanuman temple, right? And the sun is going down the hill.
Yeah.
How's it that thing, man? People haven't seen that in ages.
It was surreal, yeah.
Yeah, they haven't seen that in ages. And then you took a dip in the river. The sun was still going down. It had gone down, and then what were the colors in the sky?
Yeah.
And then the bloody stars came out. Oh my God! People don't have this. They have blue light. They have street lights in the night. It's a poverty to live in a city. Living in a city is poverty. Yeah, and poor people who have all this natural beauty are now trying to go back to the cities and what? Go to the cities. Why? Just run away from them. If you're in the city, you'll be hustling only because your cortisol levels will be like elevated this much.
I mean, I've been with you for the past, this is our third night together here. And I can tell a clear difference within myself.
Yeah.
A clear, it's quite substantial, you know, and I can feel a deep sense of ease, contentment.
Yeah, even when you lost your
tranquility.
phone, you're making jokes.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, we'll find it under a rock somewhere. But people would say you are pushing us back into the Stone Age.
अरे कहने दो ना मरो बोलो मरो मैं क्या करूं what can I do? Look, we can't keep listening to every critic. Then we can't do our work. It's really important that once we understand something deeply, we don't go for second opinion. No, mind has to have a door which is opens when it has to open and close when it closes. Okay, if you keep your mind door always open, anybody comes in, anybody goes out, then it's like, would you do that to your house door? House door is only useful in the night when it's locked, right? Otherwise, some robber will come into your house.
Can you explain this?
Your mind has to take in ideas with an open door. That's called an open mind. But then you have to shut the mind also. After you got the idea, you're happy, you're satisfied. Done, right? You got married to your wife. You're happy with her. You don't open your door to the neighbor's wife.
True.
Not necessary. Now the door is closed.
Yeah.
Now there is peace and happiness. But if you keep your door open, anybody walks in, anybody walks in, anybody walks out.
So even like commitment to your own realization of something. That is what you're talking about.
Commitment is closing your mind, isn't it?
It is.
Once you were committed to something, you closed your mind to the possibility of anything else.
Yeah.
And that's very much required. If you commit to a business, commit to a business. If you commit to a partner, you commit to the partner. If you commit to a job, you commit to the job. If you commit to a God, you commit to a God. You have to. But people think that having no commitment is being cool because you're listening to everybody. Freedom is listening to everyone's opinion and making your own opinion. But you have to reject everybody's opinion who doesn't align with yours. You keep on listening to people, you'll be dead. That's the fastest way to kill yourself. To kill your spirit, at least. If not your physical body, at least your spirit will die. That's the problem. People have become weak because of this. They just don't know how to say no. So people say anything, I don't care. It's the truth.
Yeah, so even with...
You're taking people back to the Stone Ages, but they don't have high cortisol like you. Good, no? They're happy. What Stone Ages, man? I also use WhatsApp, but not irresponsibly like everybody else, and sleep with the phone with the 5G SIM card on next to their head while it's being charged. I'm not in the dark ages. I also use a phone, but I'm not stupid. That's all. That's the difference. I'm in your age only, man. I'm not in any dark age. I'm here. I'm using it intelligently. I'm navigating the dangers of our world by seeing all the invisible things that most people don't see, like radiation, light, its effects on the body. It's all called quantum biology, right? Doctors don't have a subject called quantum biology in their syllabus. They think the body runs on biochemical processes. Well, actually, it runs on electrons and photons and that kind of stuff, which is quantum in nature. Even your mitochondria run on this, quantum processes. And your brain controls your organs with something called quantum entanglement. An ion breaks off from a molecule that is in the brain and it comes to your kidney And that's how your kidney gives immediate feedback to the brain. It's called quantum entanglement. Two particles are like Salman Khan in the movie Judwa. If this turns, the other will also turn. Okay? So that's how it's that's how all your organs are being controlled, not with the wires called nerves as scientists used to think. It's completely wirelessly controlled. How long does it take you to feel this?
It's instant.
If it was an electrical impulse, it wouldn't reach up there that fast. It's instant. So that's called quantum entanglement. Okay?
But I thought there's no perceivable gap between this.
There isn't. It's instant. Quantum entanglement is instant. If that particle was taken to the moon, it would still respond. What happens here happens there. What do doctors know about all this? So we have to take care of our quantum machinery, which is the mitochondria. If we take care of our mitochondria, we'll be fine. Nothing will happen to us. You won't have all these problems, all these mental and physical problems people have will not be there. Then they can focus on some sadhana and some yoga. Till then, it's all gas. So first I make people prepared. I make them understand these quantum phenomena, and then only I'll teach them yoga. It's an important approach. Otherwise, people keep on complaining. Oh, I can't take whining, man. There's so much whining people do. I say, you're not fit to be my student if you're a whiner. I teach only warriors. So some of my students are calling me Baba Bhayankar now.
So, one question I often get is about the suffering on the spiritual path. So, this is my theory. I think two kinds of people turn to spirituality. The first kind, they usually don't have to suffer much. This is more of it's rarer, in my observation, where an individual recognizes certain patterns in society, the way people are going, and realizes that that's not it. And then they turn. It's a little obvious to them. And the second category is usually, from what I've seen, most people, they will turn to spirituality when either a very negative event, a calamity has happened in their lives, a big trauma, or losing somebody close, a family member, something like that, which involves an intense amount of suffering. And then they move. Then they come to the side.
Yeah.
So in your life also, would you say there is a like a tipping point where this happened? Where
suffering, yeah, of course. Suffering came to a tipping point for me when I was 12 years old itself. Then it came to a tipping point for me again, and I think when I had to come back here and teach yoga from the mountains, I really suffered. And then I got depressed and I started drinking.
Being separated from your guru?
Yeah, being sent back to society, not separation from my guru. I'm not a child. I don't mind being separated from my guru. But
to be sent back.
To come back to the city, and then I didn't even know anything about why I'm feeling so assaulted in the city. After living for 2 years in the mountains, when I come back to the city, why am I feeling assaulted? Assaulted.
By your senses, people, emotions?
My senses, people, like everybody is like, I'm like, what's going on? I just started drinking to calm down the intensity of it.
Okay.
And so then I had to get addicted to alcohol, because otherwise I just couldn't even speak to someone without like getting so angry that I want to beat them up. So that's how it was going on for me. So I used to use alcohol to control my temper and to numb me out fully and just lie down. So that's what I was doing. And it took me like 9 years to get over that depression. And then I got over the depression, I think, in 2020, when my guru came again and he gave me something called karma visarjan. He told me how to remove karmas. And I asked him, why didn't you tell me? He said, time is infinite.
What does that mean?
That means what is soon for you is not soon for me.
Okay.
What is soon for me is not soon for you, is what he wanted to say. So basically what he was saying is, For me, it was the blink of an eye, 9 years. For you, it seems like a big time. What's up, man? Because if you're an immortal, Siddha, then time doesn't matter for you. Because you have so much health that you can wait 1,000 years to see something. Like Hanuman, he's sitting and waiting for the next coming of Vishnu as Kalki. He has to wait another 40 lakh years. No, not 40 lakh, 4 lakh years. He has to wait 4 lakh years. Okay. So like that, my Guru's timeline, because he's immortal, is very, like, for him 9 years is the blink of an eye. It's really different experience when you live with immortals. You become immortal yourself. When I came here, I started dying. When I came back to the city, I started dying. This explains why there are no immortals living in the city. But now I've got to a certain level where I'm healing faster than I decay. So definitely I'm not aging. And so I need to now reverse age, and that's also happening. And then, of course, I mean, I believe that I'm not aging anymore. Like, my body is not aged in a long time. So that's because of following a good lifestyle and doing sadhana, right? Sadhana is also great, man. Sadhana takes it to the next level. But I can't teach it to people who can't even lead a decent lifestyle, who believe in hustling, who are still struggling with simple stuff like making a living, living a peaceful life, struggling with your health. These are not the times. People, yoga therapy should not exist. You know why? Because Vyadhi is one of the antaras in yoga. Vyadhi is one of the obstacles in yoga according to Patanjali.
What does Vyadi mean?
Disease.
Okay.
Disease is an obstacle.
Yeah, it would be.
It is. So how can yoga therapy exist? How can there be yoga for an obstacle to yoga?
Right.
How can there be yoga for an obstacle to yoga? Makes absolutely no sense to me. So you have to learn science. If you want to cure your disease, you have to learn science. People are like, can you give me a technique for my rheumatoid arthritis? Can you give me a technique for my, I don't know, can I make my eyes better? My hair is falling. My skin has become pale. I'm putting on weight. I'm losing weight. This is not what yoga is for.
Yeah, I mean, we look at the, these issues, addressing these issues as side benefits to yoga. It's not the main thing for sure.
It is not the job of yoga to address these things. Yoga is not for that. For this, you follow a good lifestyle and discipline. It's called dinacharya. You follow a proper discipline and you won't have any of these problems. A lot of people struggle with making money because in school they've been taught that they should come first in class and it's the best thing you can do. But massive amounts of money are made by the cooperation of other people. And you've learned only to work alone and then stamp on everyone else. That's all you've learned in school and college. That's it. The sum total of your learnings from school and college is how to trample on others and come first. This is the highest ideal in school and college. How sad is this? So I think that we need to stop being so selfish and start caring about other people, and that's when you'll make money. Because money is nothing but gratitude in physical form. Okay? There is also violence in physical form. Money can be violence in physical form. If you invade a country and take their money like how they did to India, that is money in violence form. Violence in physical form, that's different money, okay? Blood money. We don't want that kind of money. If you want decent money, one is Lakshmi, one is Avalakshmi, okay? If you want Lakshmi, then it is a very good experience. It's a very spiritual money. The spiritual money comes only from gratitude. If people are grateful for you, they will take money from their bank account and put it in your bank account. If they're grateful for you. But people don't understand marketing is the earning of gratitude. They don't know the simple thing. They think marketing is hustling again, making people feel a sense of scarcity and urgency and selling something. Oh God, it gives me a headache. That's not how I sell things. Everyone who buys things from me is grateful already because they've seen so many other videos on YouTube, changed their life, got over their diseases, made money, fixed their relationship, and now they want to learn yoga. That's when you want to learn yoga. That's when you should knock on the door of a guru. If you come before that, you'll get slaps only. You saw what's written on my house, right? Stay out. To everybody. Yeah. You were looking for a signboard of Chamundi Gurukulam and
Yeah.
you found the stay out sign and you knew it's my place.
Private property stay
Private
out.
property stay out. Yeah. So that's why there's a certain standard, no? Gurus should not go on taking each and every person. It's not our job to save each and every person. I've given a lot of things out for free. You first fix your life and come back. And I don't think I want to charge money for people suffering. If somebody's suffering, I don't want to charge you money. But just because I give things free, don't think it's not valuable. It's very valuable, and I'm giving it free because I don't want to profit off your suffering. I don't want that kind of money. That's not gratitude money. That's opportunistic money. Okay? So there's violence money, there's opportunistic money, and then there's gratitude money. We should only aim for gratitude money because everything else is our Lakshmi. It's Lakshmi's sister who's basically the wrong kind of money, who brings only misfortune. Sister misfortune she is. Lakshmi's sister. Lakshmi's fortune, this one is misfortune. You don't want that sister money. You want Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the money earned from the gratitude of other people. This distinction is very important for people to make. What do you think corporate employees are getting? Opportunistic money. Their employees are not even grateful for them. Tomorrow if they die, they just replace them without a single thought. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not gratitude money. Companies are not grateful. They just, it's like I have to give this person because it's opportunistic again. If I don't pay him, he won't come to work tomorrow. That's why I'm paying him. Not because I'm so grateful that he exists. Oh my God. There's a big difference in these two qualities of money. One, the gratitude money is sustainable and scalable very easily, effortlessly. Like, no hustle and no striving, none of that stuff. Gratitude just flows like a river. Gratitude is flowing like a river, money will be pouring like rain.
Can you talk about gratitude in a more outside of the context of money? Gratitude as
Gratitude
a
is
practice or a state of being
it's
like devotion?
gratitude is when somebody's done something nice for you, they made a nice meal for you, you're like, wow, I'm grateful for it. It's not hard to understand. It's applicable in any context when another human being does something nice for you. That's all. So why don't we do nice things to people? Why are we doing horrible things to people and not earning anyone's gratitude? When parents complain that my children are not listening to me, I'm telling you they're not grateful for you. You haven't done anything that inspired gratitude in them as a parent. You have to check that, why it is. And then you'll see your holes as a parent. You just ship them off to school for an education. You didn't teach them anything. And now when they learn from others, you're like, they're learning other things from other people. They lost all their sanskar. What sanskar you gave? You ship them off to school. Shipping off young children to school is a horrible thing to do. Just stop doing it. Why can't you teach them yourself? Don't you know any life lessons? If you don't know, then learn. Maths and physics and science and geography and history and everything, you can teach them. And you don't have to teach them also. When they need it and they're hungry for it, it's there on Wikipedia. They'll figure it out, I told kids build a tree house. They went to YouTube, they watched videos, they built a tree house. Isn't that amazing? Kids. And it's got all safety and steps and everything because they watched all the videos about safety. And I trusted them to build a tree house and I built it, man.
How about gratitude beyond the social context?
Gratitude to what? To life itself? To God? What are you talking about?
Yeah, that would be beyond the social context.
You have to be grateful to God. Why not? If good things are going on in your life, you'll be grateful to God. Bad things are going on, you won't be grateful. Isn't it? It's that simple. So God also has to earn our gratitude. Gratitude is earned, not produced, okay? A lot of people think we should be grateful, we should be grateful. No, you shouldn't be grateful. You can't be grateful. Gratefulness arises in you automatically when you have something to be grateful for. So if God has given you nothing to be grateful for, you need not be grateful to God and then feel guilty, I'm not grateful to God. You truly live according to nature, how she's provided for you. When you start understanding that, when you live a lifestyle that is in tune with the flow of nature and your own hormonal cycle, men have a morning to evening hormonal cycle, one day cycles, while women have a 28-day cycle, moon cycle they call it, because it coincides more or less with the moon cycles. And man's calls the sun cycles because it coincides with the sun cycles. So when we have a solar cycle, women have a lunar cycle. They don't know anything about it. Companies expect women to come to work during the period. That's like expecting a man to come to work at midnight. It's the same thing. When you're really sleepy and drained out, they want you to, if somebody expects you to come to work, the so-called night shift. The night shift people know how a woman during her period feels going to office. Okay.
The justification is that that this would encourage employers to not hire women.
That doesn't even make sense. I have so many women working for me, and I'd give them complete off during the periods. So you take full rest. Like somebody else who just joined the team, he was so surprised because the person who had to coordinate with him is a woman. And she got her period. And I told him she got her period. She won't be working today. He's so surprised that everybody knows about everyone's periods here. And then he didn't know why. He didn't know why. So I explained it to him. I said, she won't be productive now. She just can't be. It's going to be a strain on her mind and body if you make her do work now. But you wait till the ovulation. That's when she'll do 64 times more work than a man. And she'll make up for this, don't worry.
Yeah.
Really, it's true. Haven't you observed women? In their ovulation, they feel they can climb Mount Everest. We are not that ambitious, man, as a woman on her ovulation. So she'll pack up a whole lot of things. She'll do it also. That's why women get the reputation for multitasking, because they can do more than men. It's not multitasking. They're just faster and smarter during their ovulation. They do a lot of things. It's great. So we need to understand our natural cycles and be in tune with it. And that's when, everything works for you. Otherwise, your life is a mess. You're not in tune. You're like an untuned instrument, man. No? If you don't have any tone and tune, this is what it sounds like, right? This is people.
Flaccid.
These are the hustlers. Yes, the hustlers are very flaccid, isn't it? You have to be very turgid like this. You're out of tune with nature. That's what happens, okay? If you're pulled by nature like this, that's what it is. It's that simple. So everything requires the right amount, the middle path, the correct amount, the Tao. Not more, not less. Not Rajasic, not Tamasic, but Sattvic. That's what everybody's been teaching. Follow that path, be in the flow.
One really funny but sad Instagram post I just saw. It talked about how I think you posted it.
Did I?
It was like a biplane going over a farm spraying pesticides, and it said that isn't it strange that we have to pay for our foods more in order for them not to be poisoned.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy, right?
Here's some money, please don't poison my food.
Man, things are just growing wild in my garden. You see, I get tomatoes there, I get brinjals, I get something, coriander, pudina, सब कुछ मिलता है there. It's just growing. Like I don't even know what grows where. I just look through and I find something what I want to cook every day. How's that happening? It's just nature. You don't have to control nature. So when you're in tune, you can do all sorts of things. I just saw a guy jump from the top of one building to another building in a reel. I'm like, how much in tune is this guy? And the first comment I saw is, why? Somebody's comment is why? Why did you jump over from this building to that? You can't understand something glorious, man. Because you're like, we've become so ordinary. We don't understand extraordinary things. We don't respect it when we see them. Magical things. We don't even want to believe magic exists. If I believe magic exists and I'm wrong, that's not how you build a belief. A belief is built based on proof, inference, those kind of things, right?
Can you elaborate more?
Like there are four ways of Nyaya. Nyaya is one of the philosophies. Just like yoga is one of the philosophies of Hinduism, Nyaya is one of the philosophies of Hinduism. So Nyaya, they say that you can only have sources of true knowledge by direct perception. That means by experience. I put my hand in the fire, it is hot, I know it is hot. Now I know that fire is hot. Okay. But you can also make it by inference. There's only me and my cat in the house and a glass of milk is spilt. So the cat did it. That's an inference. I didn't see it happen. I'm pretty sure the cat did it. Okay. So like that you can make inference also. Or you can understand by analogy, right? Like आम के बीज होते हैं तो मनुष्य के भी होंगे. And they found it like sperms and cells. So once you make an analogy also. So an analogy is called upamana, and this one inference is called anumana, and this one is called direct perception or proof. Giving proof is called pramana. So when you have pramana, anumana, or upamana, you can form a belief. Another way to form a belief is by if someone you rely on or someone you trust tells you. Okay? And that's another way to form a belief. And I think that is called agama or something like that. I'm not sure about the word right now. But that's another thing that if a trusted person tells you, then you can believe it.
You can assume it to be true.
Yes, that is the one loophole that everybody uses to win your trust and then make you believe things that are wrong. Okay? So you should be very careful whom you trust, man. You have to close the door. Once you're committed to trusting someone, just close the door. Don't allow any mistrust to come in. This is safety, okay? So somebody who keeps doubting you is somebody who doesn't have the safety of closing the door of his or her mind. And if they haven't closed the door of his or her mind towards, at least with their commitment to you, then such a person is going to be a thorn in your side. With their anxiety, they're going to keep asking you to prove yourself. Prove yourself, prove yourself to me, prove yourself. It's going to be miserable living with such a person. Okay? So that's why if you're going to be with people, then you have to trust them. Close your door to any other opinion other than that. But what if they cheat me? Then don't be with that person even now, if you have that kind of feelings. Why do you get engaged? Opportunistic. Why are you opportunistic? Why are you with people whom you don't trust? Tulsidas said, if it's raining gold also, don't go to a place where you're not valued. So if somebody doesn't trust you, it means you shouldn't be with them. They have to have closed their doors and committed to you. That's when you get security, man. Otherwise, how you'll get security? And if you want to give security, then commit to people and close the door. If you have questions like, oh, but then I'll be a sitting duck and things will happen to me, if you have these things, then don't be with that person. Go find someone whom you can really trust. It's not like you have to be with everybody. But be with people whom you trust. Otherwise, your life is going to be miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many couples exist in the world who don't trust each other? How many parents don't trust their children? How many children don't trust their parents? How many students don't trust their teachers? How many teachers don't trust their students? It causes stress. Everybody's stress is boiling because they're always alert trying to defend themselves.
This is like a defense mechanism for having been, have their trust violated in some sense.
I don't know, man. Safety comes from closing the door, not leaving it open. I think they're idiots. They don't understand safety comes when you close the door.
Can you explain this further?
Close the door means trust someone and commit to them. That's safe.
But can we?
Your physiology will not feel safety until you do that.
But can we misjudge somebody?
When you do this, no?
Hmm.
Can we misjudge somebody when you do that? You open the door again. You don't trust yourself. You don't trust your senses. That means you're not present in your body.
Yeah, I do not trust my judgment all the time. Can we trust our judgment all the time?
You have to be present.
100%.
You have to be present.
I've been wrong before.
Yeah, see, catch this. You can't. Now you try to catch this. Catch it.
So,
Now you are present, finally. Again, not present fully. Okay, try.
okay, I get it.
You need to be in your body. Come on, try once more. Be in your body. This time you got it. This time you're present. How does this feel as compared to all the other failed ones?
Feels okay. Better.
Feels like you trust yourself, man. That's what it is. My teacher put me to fight people at the age of 13. He said, go fight this guy. I just had to trust him and go. What if you can't have the what if? If you have the what if, then you'll keep producing cortisol inside your body. And you'll not be able to relax. So how is that safe? How is what if safe? When you do what if it's like you're reacting as if there's a poisonous snake under your chair? How can you relax? Just how? Please explain this mechanism to me. But how this is safer? How is this safer than trusting someone and not producing cortisol and relaxing? Then you'll be present. If something happens, if at all it happens, you will be there. Like how you caught that credit card, you'll catch it. Things will not happen under your nose because you're present. Have you seen guard dogs that are present? They're not stressed, they're just present. You walk this way, they look at you. You walk this way, they look at you. They're present. Have you seen bodyguards of celebrities and Prime Minister and all of them? Scanning always. Present. Do they look stressed? They're not stressed. They're present.
They're not?
They're not stressed. They're present. Really, you can't be stressed and be in... If you start getting stressed every day, you can't be the Prime Minister's bodyguard. Because the threats on the Prime Minister is like sky high. And you're the one trusted, and the Prime Minister also trusts that guy. What else he do? He can't protect himself. He has other things to do. He can't become Bruce Lee right now. Then who'll run the country if he starts doing Shaolin Kung Fu? But these guys' job is to do Shaolin Kung Fu in the morning, and then come at the time when the Prime Minister has to leave for some place. Okay, so those guys are not stressed. Many of them I have only trained. So I've trained them in such a way that they're present. So I know this field. I'm not just guessing. Okay, I've taught people. I've taught even the Marcos, Krav Maga. I used to teach them, which is the Navy commandos. And then there's the Karnataka police and the Tamil Nadu police. So I've trained all these people. So I know. People, the policemen, there was a riot in Bangalore after I trained the Karnataka police. So the Bangalore police had called in the Karnataka police, which is a separate unit. They called them in to help them. And during one of those riots, one of my students, he was really badly attacked by a gang of at least 25 people. And he said, Guruji, the only way I came out of it is to be present and be relaxed like you taught. I remembered these two things: be present, be relaxed. And he got out of it. So, when there have been extreme violent situations in my life, extreme stuff like during the Ayodhya riots, extreme stuff I've seen. I should have trauma because of it, but because I'm extremely relaxed, I don't have trauma. They're cutting people's throats after pulling down their pants to check their religion.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you were not a Muslim, they'd cut your throat. That's when I got caught in one of those buses. That was happening in Bangalore. I jumped out of the window. I rolled under the bus and I was hiding there. Then they cut a lot of people and they went. And then I came out, only dead bodies. Only dead bodies. I climbed a wall and jumped over the wall. And guess what I'm seeing? It's Ramakrishna Mission and there's Kali statue there. And I'm like, what is this blood, mother? Like, what is your appetite for blood? Like, how are you? Like, I was really like shaken. But through the whole thing, I was only saying, Kali Ma, protect me. And I was lying under the bus. Blood is flowing towards me. And I said, it's okay if it touches my shirt. It's okay if I'm not moving a muscle. I just froze and sat under there to survive that. I had to completely relax. Not scream, not say anything. Blood is very smelly, by the way. It smells like stench. It was like, I don't know what kind of smell that was. It was horrible experience, okay? Bloodthirsty experience. Like I saw Kali in a full roop that day, taking blood, drinking blood. So when I asked her, like, what's going on? But all through that, I was completely relaxed, completely present. I did not check out even for 1 second.
But did you get an answer
To what?
from Kali?
I didn't have any question for her. I'm like, it was more like a rhetorical question. Like,
Oh.
why are you so horrible?
Hmm.
And she is like that. She likes to drink blood like block, block, block. So I've seen that. She gets happy with it. And later, when my teacher taught me Agora and all those practices which we used to do in the Smashan, that time I started understanding the mind of the goddess, how she likes to drink blood, how she likes to be violent also, and she's the most kind also, and she's violent also.
Through communal violence?
She's cruel also, and she's kind also, and she's everything. She's mysterious, Mahamaya. You can't understand her. If you read Devi Puran, you'll understand. Yes, she'll give boons to the asuras also. She'll give boons to the gods also. इसने मेरा स्तुति किया बहुत अच्छा किया तुम ले लो. You know, asur ko, she's giving the asur some really big powers. Then they came to kill Brahma only. Brahma is also doing stuti. She gives him also. She wakes up Vishnu. And she's made Vishnu sleep as well. What's going on here? And in the next story, Vishnu's head gets cut off. Vishnu's head gets cut off. She takes the blood of Vishnu. Forget Hindus and Muslims. She'll take anyone's blood. When you read Devi Puran, you're like, this is what I'm seeing in real life also. This is the divine, bloodthirsty and beautiful mother.
When you were under the bus and you spoke about how you basically saw the violence in front of you as a certain manifestation of an aspect of a divine entity.
So bloodlust of Kali.
Bloodlust of Kali.
Yeah.
So this is manifest in this capacity also, and this is like she is responsible for it in some way.
Yeah, all the
Whenever
time.
humanity displays any aspect of
course,
violence.
She loves it. Surprising, no? What we worship in Bengal is Bhadra Kali. It's not Kali. Bhadra means gentle. Gentle Kali is worshipped. Real Kali, nobody wants to worship. Mahakali.
Bhadra Kali is gentle.
She's gentle. She put her foot on Shiva. She was running around destroying everything, and then she put her foot on Shiva and she's like, I can't destroy my husband, and she smiled. And she bit her tongue saying, That's why she looks like this. It's a symbol of, I did something wrong. So Bhadrakali is not the bloodthirsty one. The bloodthirsty one is mouth open, eyes rolling, wanting to drink your blood. So people are not just made this up, okay? If you read Kalika Puran, you'll start seeing her stories. Devi Puran, you can read Mahamaya stories, and Kali is one special aspect of it. You really have to understand how bloodthirsty she is. She's just ready for war. She loves it. Oops. Okay.
So world peace is a futile attempt.
World peace is a foolish thing, man. World peace, world peace. Kya world peace? You know, without war, people don't become tough. And that's how civilizations are built and destroyed. That's how it is. It's just a reality. When a tribe becomes a super tribe, it becomes like that. The next eventuality is war. What do you think China's doing? It's like all out economic war on so many countries.
So, so there is. It's one thing to say there is war, and it's one thing to say there should be war.
I didn't say there should be war. I said war will be there. It's not my opinion. It's Kali. It's my observation of Kali. It's not my will that there be war and babies be massacred and mothers be killed. That's not what I want. Okay? I'm not a violent person. But I'm saying Kali is. Okay? Because when you get to know her closely and you see her in her violent form also, there is a violent streak to the goddess. I'm not like that. But I see that in her. And I'm okay with it. I don't have complaints against it.
What do you
It is
see
what it is.
on the gentler side? What do you see there?
On the gentler side is this evening we're having here. Which is most of my life. It's very gentle and nice. And that is Bhadrakali, you know. I have a statue on Gurukulam, you saw it, right? It's Bhadrakali.
Okay.
I wouldn't keep the violent Kali in my house. Yeah. I don't want that kind of energy in my house. This is a very gentle, nice, protective, kind of not sanskari energy of Kali. Non-sanskari energy. You know? What's his name, that guy who was always the father-in-law? I forget. Aloknath. Aloknath would not be proud of Kali because she's not samskari at all. She doesn't wear clothes. She comes with her clothes are these severed hands. She wears a skirt of severed hands. Oh, what is this? Have you seen anywhere else in any other religion? Well, it's there. It's there in African religions. They have these violent deities. You know, I'm sure it's there in many other places where the people are connected to the earth. But right now we have got the Western idea of what God is like, and first their God is also very violent. If you read the Bible, kicked out Adam and Eve and made them suffer, and something and all was going on. Okay, but now it's all just light and sunshine and roses. That's not God.
Love, light, and laughter.
Love, light, laughter, joy. No. That's not God. That's one part of God. There's a beautiful and gentle part of God, and there's the beautiful and violent part of God also there. What do you think gods like Rudra and all are?
Fierce.
Kala Bhairav. Can I go walk around like Kal Bhairav with a skull in my hand with some big cleaver and followed by a dog and just cut people's head off? I can't do all that. I mean, he cut Brahma's head off, imagine, man. Is this model behavior? Would Aloknath approve? It's not samskari behavior. Cutting off people's head, being naked, covering yourself with ashes. You do one day and walk through your city and people will be like, hey, you be in the mountain, you don't come here. The Kumbh Mela us taraf hai, they'll send you. No, try going to office, you know, corporate employee, put ashes on your body, go naked to office, see what happens. Grow your hair like mine, jatas, and then you go, see what happens. So isn't it wonderful that our ancestors have depicted their gods as both the fiery, violent, everything is God only. So it's so easy for us to connect when there is a big tragedy like people being killed. Instead of getting trauma, I just went to Kali and I said, "What is going on with you?" And I sat there only and I felt soothed because that was Bhadrakali. On this side is Kali, the normal Kali, like not the Bhadra one. And here inside, this is Kalika, okay, standing here on the street with the blood is flowing. Just across the wall is Bhadrakali. So I went from this and I went the other side. I felt like I was in the lap of a mother. Here I felt like I have to run for my life.
You spoke about protection. So this is something that I haven't known until recently, that the Panchmukhi Hanuman is used as a, to protect yourself. People keep it on their doorways. This image of the
Yeah, I mean,
five-faced Hanuman.
the five-faced Hanuman, there are a lot of sadhanas, okay? It's not just that simple. It's not just for protection. The five faces of Hanuman. If you know the aspects, the puja, the aradhana of these deities, what will happen is that no entities can come near you. No spirits can come near you. They'll just stay far, far away. They'll politely move out. Even if you go into nature in Shamshan or anywhere else, they'll all move out and make space for you if you do this sadhana. So this sadhana is done first before Smashan sadhana. You have to do aradhana of Panchmukhi Hanuman. Okay. So there are techniques to do all that. I can't teach it, of course, on a podcast.
Yeah.
But I teach my students this. Yeah. So, I mean, before sending these guys out to the jungle like this to go find places and all that, I taught them Hanuman sadhana. And Hanuman goes with them everywhere. That's why they get luck, they make friends, they find places. Yeah. So Hanuman is a very protective deity, for sure. And he's very, very loving to his bhakts if they just say Jai Shri Ram. Or if they say the Tarak mantra. Or if they say Ram. That's also enough. That's what it is.
क्या जय श्री राम के नारे लगा रखे हैं.
I'm glad that's changed, man, because that is a mantra for us. It's not just associated with some militant Hinduism. It is a Hindu mantra.
People are feeling threatened after watching our Gerua color. The orange
I'm wearing now.
is suddenly threatening.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, grow up. That's Ma Kali. Because everyone has a violent side. Everyone has the end of their patience and tolerance. Everybody has. And there are some people who have the real violent side. They really enjoy violence. They're turned on by it. They get satisfaction from it. Okay. So those are, what are they called? Sadists. So they get some sexual pleasure from violence, actually.
Yeah.
So they go, they love violence. They're getting orgasms with the violence. Those are the violent people. Right? They also exist. That's also Kali. She's getting sexual pleasure from violence. That's what is written. So then we have to understand that it's all just a game, man. People say dehumanizing is that, this. Whatever natak you do, human beings are still going to be violent. Why hasn't anybody understood this decently? People have. Hindus. They've understood it. So we're not busy trying to eradicate violence. We're busy trying to eradicate violence against the people whom we love and us and our country. And that's what you need to protect. But violence will keep going on. We'll try our best not to make it happen. But don't expect that it will go away. Violence will not just one day go away. So that's how it is. People are violent even without being physically violent, right? That's going on all the time, where they just drain the other person's energy and then make them feel like they'll make someone feel like they have want to kill themselves. They can do that. They do so much drama that you want to kill yourself. Such people are there, and a lot of people have died like that. They got diseases and died. Those are slow murders. A lot of people doing slow murders.
Hmm.
I used to catch them in my hypnosis sessions. I used to do hypnotherapy, so take them into a very deep state and I used to ask them questions. And the real answers would come out from the subconscious. A lot of people confess to wanting to kill their spouses.
Hmm.
When they woke up in the conscious state, they were not aware of what they said. There's a big subconscious river under you. You don't know anything about it. That's what they call your shadow side. There's a big river underneath, you know. And people are not aware, they just don't give a shit about it. They're like, हाँ so fresh पे मैं तो ठीक हूँ. Look okay. But the underlying thing is what causes even your physical form.
Is there a way of people talk about integrating the shadow side?
You have to. You have to make this clear as day. You have to know yourself. All the kachra inside you, you should know. And you should accept. And all the horrors inside you should know and accept. You know, that the people who get angry with other people, they're the ones who suppress that in themselves. For example, you see somebody with tattoos, right? I get so much hate for my tattoos. Huh? See, and if something is happening inside them, what are they hating in me? The thing that they suppressed in themselves. My self-expression, my freedom, my I don't give a shit attitude. They've suppressed all that in themselves. So now they're hitting that. They resent that I can have it and they can't have it. So that's why they come and attack. Yesterday somebody was busy attacking me. Like, he's gone and shat on so many posts, okay, on Instagram. Like, I make so many posts.
do that.
And then this guy doesn't even have a profile pic. He has some 96 followers. He has no details about himself. And he's pretending to be some kind of Vedic scholar. And he's according to this, according to that. And I can give answers for each one of those because I studied the Vedas. That was my job. But I don't want to. Because I'm teaching something. I told everyone, Turiya is a state of mind which is dreaming when you're awake. That is Turiya. I know this from my practical knowledge and experience. And I understand what it is. If you go to the scriptures, they don't define what is Turiya. They don't really define exactly what's that. But a practitioner will be able to tell you. So, everything cannot be bookish knowledge. There's knowledge over and above the books.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of books on marketing, but I made my own marketing called gratitude marketing. And it's working very well for me. Gratitude money, I don't want any other money. I made my own theories about economy. I made my own theories about how relationships should be. And it's working for me and my students. So, I feel that I have some genius level emotional intelligence. I'm zero in like actual intelligence. Like, you know, what do you call it? The kind of intelligence that's required to do well in school and college. I don't have that at all. I'm so bad at that. I can't even concentrate long enough. When they open their mouth, I sleep. But when it comes to emotional intelligence, I have some genius level skill, which is why I've been able to break down things and create systems for people to use. Break down how things happen. And I also have massive experience, right? So one of these weird experiences was when I would take people into the subconscious state and start talking to them. How would I talk to the subconscious? I would say touch the eye or something like that, which you can't do consciously. I would say for yes, and I'd establish that signal, and no, like it's an NLP technique. So I used to use that technique to communicate to the subconscious. I became really good at it. And then I would keep talking to subconscious, it would keep giving me answers. Suddenly people's diseases would go away because the subconscious got calm by just talking to me. So that's when I started to understand. I need to talk to the whole human being. Even now, I don't talk only to the good in people, what they want to project outside. If somebody's horrible inside, I talk directly to it.
Hmm.
And they appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, and they say,
If they want to be real.
yeah, yes, today somebody messaged me saying the best thing I enjoyed about today is your dart, your scoldings. Because I'm going right in and saying, look at all this kachada inside you. How do you expect results that you want? They're like, yeah, it's there. And then that's all. They need awareness that it's there. Then they become present to it. When they become present to it, then they'll know what to do with it, It's their choice. I don't tell them what to do. Some keep it. Some say, okay, I can do better than this, and they do better.
Yeah.
And some are like proud of themselves. They're admiring their own drama.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier in the car on the way here. That I feel this happened during my Isha Hatha Yoga teachers training. So what I felt was there were many things changing within me. Many things were coming into my awareness during that time. And one of these things was this that I was getting in tune with the phases of the moon. And this intensified during full moon. I mean, full moon is characteristic to me. Like, I know.
You would know even if you didn't see it.
Yes, full moon and Amavasya is very easy. The other, in a higher state of sadhana, you can say
You
what
can know
phase
each
it is.
phase because there are 30 Nitya Devis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing happened was that I went to one of our Swamis over there and I told him that, Swami, I'm noticing that if I am a little imbalanced or like not right in the head basically, as we enter into the full moon, this aggravates it further. This agitates me further and I get crank here, all of that. But if I enter into it with a certain sense of meditativeness, then even that gets enhanced and it's way better for me. So I was trying to address the negative aspect when I'm going off. And he said to just be aware of it.
What I said.
Yeah. Just coming to that. So and initially I found that, there's nothing to fix.
Correct.
There's nothing for me to fix really,
Yeah.
And it was almost counterintuitive initially.
It is counterintuitive.
But I do realize that just being aware of it, again, it's not 100% for me, within me. I still try to fix things. I've heard of this hypnotherapist who then ventured into completely different aspects, But this individual who's no more, but she was known as Dolores Cannon.
Canon.
Yes.
Okay.
She has a YouTube channel as well.
Oh.
And she's written several books.
Okay.
So I've read 2 of her books. So what she says is that she would put people in the hypnotic state. And this is way back in the day when hypnosis was a pseudoscience. So the psychology was catching up at that time. And all the psychiatrists and the psychotherapists completely, neglected and ridiculed hypnotherapy.
Discredited.
Yes, in the initial stages. Now it is still a lot of work has happened. So what she claims is that she would make people go into a deeper state. I think theta state it was called.
That's the deepest.
Right. So she stumbled across spirit guides and deities and not extraterrestrial, well, beings from other dimensions speaking through her subjects. So the spirit guides would tell her what the individual who's, hypnotized, what they need in their life, what their purpose of life is, and everything, and what plans they have for her, and in many, many crazy things. So
Yeah.
I wonder if you have ever heard of something like this,
Yeah,
or
this is pretty easy to do, and it used to happen frequently in my practice because it's like the intensity of the relaxation, right?
Hmm.
I got really good at getting people really, really relaxed and into a theta state, even just like that. And then after that, it would be a different kind of consciousness to deal with. Because then I realized what is the real meaning of the word Kula.
Hmm.
Kula is, and Kula Devata.
Yeah.
Kula Devata is the deity that guards your Kula. But what is your Kula? Your Kula is a collection of spirits that make up your mind. So it's not just one spirit in your mind, there are many, 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 many personalities. People say multiple personality is a disorder. It's not. It's just the masks are not working well. It's not masking that from consciousness, but people do have in the subconscious multiple personalities. So I'll give you an example. I became so good at hypnosis that I started learning parkour. So it was just getting popular then, and they'd written a few articles about me also back in the day. So I used to do daredevil jumps from high places at 20 feet and sometimes 15 feet and all that. So in one such wall, 15-foot wall, I'm teaching absolute beginners how to jump this wall. Jump down from that wall. It's a stadium and the stadium wall is 15 feet. So it's in Bangalore. It's the Jayanagar Stadium, okay? So I used to make them go to the edge, jump down all the way. People go stand there and they go, heart goes, da, 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 and they say, no, we don't want to do this. Okay, and I've taught them the techniques, I've made them roll, and this was like a workshop, okay? So I used to call them for a workshop in the park, and I would just do a workshop, make them do simple stuff, build their confidence, make them do something fabulous, difficult, and then send them home. And then take videos of it as well while they're doing it. So this is just my hobby. So when I started using hypnosis to make people believe that they can jump from that wall in one day and not hurt themselves, and it was happening. People, absolute beginners, coming training with me for 1 hour, and then they just go and jumping off the wall, rolling, nothing happens to them. And guess what? I had 5,000 students learning martial arts when I was teaching it, and because of hypnosis, nobody got injured. I inbuilt the hypnosis into the company so that people, instead of using hypnosis for bad things, I started making them use hypnosis for good things, which is to become fearless.
Subconscious programming.
Yeah, in the first case to become fearless, in this case to not be injured, to be safe. So you can program people to be safe as well. And it's like suggestions, right? You just suggest, you go, the deeper level you go, if you suggest to the deities something, the deities and the spirits which are written there, you make a suggestion to them, and if they take the suggestion, that change is permanent.
Can you talk more about Kula Devtas?
Kula Devatas are then I realized, right, there's so many spirits and deities. Now, which one do I talk to, right?
So is this, I'm sorry to interrupt, is this along the lines of saying that your thoughts are not necessarily yours and there are influences beyond?
There are Pitrus, there are entities, there are divine forces. All that makes up your Kula. So your Kula has also got horrible things, it's also got good things. Okay. But the Kula Devata is the one spirit who you can talk to send a message to all spirits. So it's like that. That's the Kula Devata. And usually it's some divine god or goddess who is recognized in Hinduism. So that's how it is. Sometimes they'll be unrecognized by Hinduism and they'll have a different name, and you can ask them what's the name. So when you go deep inside and you say, I want to talk to that one spirit, the Kula Devata. And, then when you ask, who is it, what is your name and all that, that Kula Devata personality comes out. And then you can have a direct conversation with the
Mm.
Kula Devata. And you'll get a direct answer back. Bas, it's so simple. You just have to know how to relax people really deeply. Then you can do all these things. You have to practice being relaxed yourself too, right? Richard Bandler said if you want to put someone in a trance, you go right into the trance with them. That means you have to know how to totally relax yourself.
Can you address it yourself, within yourself?
Yeah, of course you can. You can. Because none of these spirits are defiant of the Kula Devata, you know. So you can go talk to your own Kula Devata and things will change. And for many people, the Kula Devata is the one that their parents have been worshipping like for so many years.
Mm.
They maintain the same Kula. So for those who have the blessings of their Kula Devata, their families will stay together and will be good. For those who don't have the blessings, the families break apart. Or those who haven't earned, let's say, the respect of the Kula Devata, you know, there is disagreement with the Kula Devata within the ranks of all the spirits and other different kind of personalities that live there. There's discord, there's not agreement. Then life becomes very difficult. That person is conflicted internally. So this is one lens to look at it from, okay? And everything I mean, it's everything I do is integrating everything I know. So I found simpler and simpler ways. I don't have to sit and induce trance and make someone lie down and go into trance. I don't have to do all those things anymore. I can just do it conversationally with anyone and get into the very deep subconscious, put in suggestions there that will make their life better and I can get out. And I frequently do. That's why people meet me once and they're feeling so much better. Because I talk to the Kul Devata directly. The conversation happened. I would have just touched them like this, the conversation happened. You know, or I would have just like looked at them and done something and then a gesture and the conversation would have happened with the Kul Devata. And I'll know so many things in my own subconscious because I'm also getting into that deep trance. That person also for a moment is in the very deep trance. And then the communication happens, then they come back to their alpha level awareness or beta level stress. These are all baby subjects in yoga. It's nothing. It's for children to play in yoga, not for legends.
What are the legends up to?
Legends are like Mahavtar Babaji. He's the Samrat of 18 Mahadvipas, 18 planets. I don't even know what he's up to. I don't know what the legends are doing.
I don't want to conclude the podcast without you talking about Mahavtar Babaji.
Babaji is always available to you. Okay? You just have to be relaxed. His favorite thing is when you move on. You remember? The first mantra he gave me is Malam Gataha Akalikam Prachalati. I'm like, what? Shit happens, move on in Sanskrit. He's like, yes.
Wow.
He's like, yes. I'm like, wow, okay. I said, no, that's truly it. If I can see people who are in shit and they're ready to move on and learn new things and repair their life, I'm there with them. That's what he said. And I just had to say my mantra. Ichha Kriya Jnana Baba Namaha. It's not Om Kriya Babaji Nama Om or any of those things. That's not the mantra is given. He said, what I'll do with only Kriya? He was laughing at Kriya Yoga. He's like, look what these jokers have done. They've removed Ichha and Jnana from it. No purpose, no knowledge required, only power. Kriya, Kriya, Kriya. Where's the purpose yoga? Where's the knowledge yoga? How to apply all this power? Just power, burn yourself up. Our Kundalini is rising and that is shaking and this is shaking. Guruji, after practicing Kriya Yoga, I am having a feeling in my third eye. It's a pressure, it's not going. You know how many idiots have told me this?
Mm.
And so I helped them, of course, even though they're idiots.
What's happening to them?
I fixed all that shit.
Mm.
I made them do proper yoga, fix their routines, and I made them do asanas. Grounded all of that energy, which is got here and there, busted this and that. Guruji, after doing this Kriya Yoga, I have acidity and it's not going. I'm like, come. I give them a book to read called Mitochondriac Manifesto. If they don't read it, they'll get slaps. Danda.
I should read it soon.
Yes, I think everybody has to read this book. Everybody who have had the love and grace to send that book, I've sent it to a lot of people. Why should I take my time out and send you a link to a book? But I've done it for people. I'm saying, this is the link. You don't even have to search in Amazon. Go buy it. Go read it. You know? So people are like, it's too costly. It's too this, it's too that. I'm like, man, it's not as costly as your life. And if you read it, you'll have a really long life with lots of health. That's not important for you? Clearly, it's not for a lot of people. So I look deep and I like, wait. When I look deep, I see this person doesn't respect me at all. Why should I teach him? I say, yeah, you continue with what you're doing, okay? Pray to Shiva, okay? Shiva bless you. And I send that. So, Mahavtar Babaji, if you want to contact him, the mantra is Ichha Kriya Jnana. It can't be just Kriya. Ichha Kriya Jnana Baba Namah. That's the mantra. So you just say this. And you tell him like, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to give up all my shit. Because it happened. I'm not going to now frame it and keep it in my bedroom. It has happened, I will move on. Okay? You say that to Baba. When you promise that you will indeed give up your sense of injustice and move on, he's pleased. He's so pleased. It's like, oh, you will get yoga now. And he'll give you yoga. The real yoga, okay. Do you know about Ashwatthama's milk? So Ashwatthama was the son of Dronacharya, and the kids were very mean. Because Dronacharya was very poor, they were so mean to Ashwatthama. They took chalk powder, mixed it in milk, and gave it to him, and said, "This is milk." Sorry, chalk powder mixed with water, and then gave it to him and said, "This is milk." So when he drank that milk, it started to become extremely. It's a horrible thing to drink, okay? And it was burning him inside because it's such a chalk powder. And then he still took that milk to his father and he said, look, I drank milk. I finally, for the first time in my life, I didn't know what milk is. Here it is. This saddened Dronacharya to no end and he said, I have to get rid of my poverty now. And then he went and he asked for the opportunity to teach the Kauravas and the Pandavas. But he got the opportunity to teach the Pandavas. Okay, so Dronacharya did that only because he was disgusted by how the kids had treated Ashwatthama and given him Ashwatthama's milk, That's what it is. A lot of people have got Ashwatthama's milk when it comes to spirituality, especially regarding Babaji. And Babaji is somebody I know who will give you practical results. He's like that, okay? Like when I sit out in nature and then I just think of Babaji, there's sometimes a lightning bolt in the sky. Sometimes there's some other manifestation of him. There's a smell, really strong smell. Or sometimes and sometimes you can suddenly see his fingers. Sometimes he just wants to show himself fully. So he plays around a lot and he listens. Because he's the Ashtadasha Mahadvipa Samrat. He's really the ruler of this world. Samrat, emperor of this and 17 other planets. That's who he is, on a spiritual level. He's connected to every being in his kingdom. And all you have to do is ask him. You can call him my king. You can tell him, Babaji, my king. Can you please help me with this whining and that whining? I want to move on. When you say you want to move on, then you get the royal treatment. If you don't want to move on, and this mantra won't work. Okay? So whatever it is, like give up all the sense of injustice, confusion, that, this. I understand that I'm full of shit and I want to move on. That's all you have to say. When you really say that from your heart and you say Baba's mantra, if he really is impressed by you and your sincerity, it's not hard to get a darshan of Baba. Even if you don't see him physically, if you close your eyes, you'll see him. He'll be right there. He'll talk to you. He'll counsel you. And he'll leave. But only if you're ready to move on and you meant it. After that, if you start crying again, wah, you'll never come. That's the problem. People cry too much to be able to see Babaji. And they ask me, how can I meet Babaji? You stop crying first. I I was also crying when I first met Babaji, but not like that. I was crying in anger against Shiva for allowing these things to happen to me and not giving me knowledge. That's how I was. I was ready to cut Shiva's head off. That's how angry I was. But I felt powerless. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to even deal with the bullies in my road. Forget cutting Shiva's head off. But I was so angry enough is what I'm saying.
Mm.
And then I was like, I will not tolerate this. If this world is not going to give me any kind of magic wherein which I can defeat these other kids who are beating me up, if the world is not going to give me any kind of magic, I'm done with this world. I was going to give up my body. That's how angry I was. And that's the time then Shiva said, okay, I'll give you a chance. Here's a teacher. And then he gave me the best of the best. I didn't even know who's Babaji and what's his status till I went there, man. I went there and I saw beings from other planets coming there. I'm like, wow, where am I? And I'd done a lot of work, and I was always interested in subjects of the mind right from when I was a kid. And I just continued learning because I got the insights of such a brilliant teacher. The way he taught me martial arts, the psychology behind everything that he says, it's just out of this world. And to even hear Babaji's voice in your ears, it's such a joy. When you hear him laugh, you just feel so approved. You just feel that, oh man, I'm living a life in such a way that I'm pleasing this magnificent being, and you just feel so satisfied. It's a different kind of happiness when Babaji is happy with you. But really, if you feel I'm a disappointment, I don't deserve to meet Babaji, he will not come to you. Why he'll come to you? You have to feel I deserve to meet you, Baba. I don't have any issues with you and anything you teach. I'm ready to move on from any of the crap that I'm holding, any kind of wrong impressions I'm holding. I really want to learn something from you. And then you say this mantra, and then you say it. Why won't he contact you? He will. That's what people need to know about Mahavtar Babaji. Then the rest you ask him yourself. No, he'll show you what he wants to show you, man. He showed me what he wanted to show me. But he's more infinite. I mean, he is infinite. So you don't know what all he can show you. I've seen him as an assassin, and I've seen him as a divine soul, and a very strict leader of 18 planets, and that's only what he's chosen to show me. What else exists that he hasn't chosen to show me? I don't know. What will he choose to show you? You see. But at least it's him. And he doesn't look like Cher. I already explained in the other podcast, okay?
Yeah.
He's very manly. And he's very beautiful. And his presence is like 1,000 thunderclouds. He's that dark. He's a Tamilian. What do you expect? And he's always been out in the sun. He's dark. And then show him like white Jesus. He looks like that now in all the paintings. Okay? So I promise to make a proper painting of Baba and get a proper statue made. I'll install it in Mysore. That's what he's asked me to do. So I hope I can get to do that fast. But Babaji's timeline, you never know. Yeah? He says soon. He says soon. Ask him something. Soon. That can mean anything from 12 to 15 years. That is soon. It's like a blink of an eye for him. But for us, I'm only 49. I'll be 50 this year, right? But he's like, how much did he say? 2,700 years old. 2,000, I don't even know what is this scale. Right? So for someone who's 2,700 years old, 15 minutes is like a blink of an eye. I mean, sorry, 15 years is like a blink of an eye. Huh. So he tells me something, I say soon, and then he goes, and then he's got a huge sense of humor, by the way. Babaji just makes you laugh and laugh, and you just laugh, okay? Even if he scolds you, you laugh.
I would be disappointed if he did not have a sense of humor.
Is something very easy about him. That's why when you talk about what about hustling, then I'm like, come on, man, you haven't met beings like Baba. You don't know how to be in tune and how far that goes. It goes super far, man. There are a lot of people discrediting spirituality, but spirituality is the only way to experience something above the ordinary, over and above the ordinary. Otherwise, you just have an ordinary experience. You come here, you sit here, you'll see the fire, you'll see the stars, you'll say, wow, 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 and you'll go back home. But here we are talking something spiritual. And see, you will not leave this night as the same person who came in. You'll be so much more empowered.
Yeah.
Just by talking about spiritual topics. Not even doing sadhana. Just listening about Baba's description. So many things will change inside you. You know? There's a lot to learn, but for those who already know how to teach. So, those who want to learn will keep learning. Nobody can stop. If you don't want to teach them also, they'll learn. Those who want to learn. One clue is enough. I learned swimming by just a clue, you know. I didn't know how to swim. I saw this guy and I learned how to swim. Because he's like an otter and that guy's like a fish. So I asked this guy, how do you swim? I think you think like a fish. I'm like, okay. I asked this guy, how do you swim? I don't know, but I swim. This is the instructions I got about swimming from these two. So then I was looking, I saw this guy, I saw that guy, I saw how they're swimming. I said, yeah, I have to be like a fish and I have to trust. So I said, what do you do with your breath? I asked him. Oh, you have to completely breathe out under the water and then, you'll be dying. So you'll somehow come up for more air. I'm like, this is profound. This is profound. And while you do that, you just keep moving. You let all the air out under the water and then you take it in. So I just got this much of a clue. But I was so desperate to learn swimming that I learned. Now I'm floating around like an otter myself. Because I'm desperate to learn. Nobody can stop me even with this bad instruction. Right? Isn't this the worst swimming instruction you ever heard?
Think like a fish.
Think like a fish. I don't know. But the one thing he said, breathe out inside, and that's when I asked a specific question, I got that answer.
Yeah.
breathe out inside the water, and then
That's a good technique, yeah.
you have to come up for water, and that's when you take that stroke where you.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, because I learned swimming. I just wasn't confident to go deep
Mm.
because then I don't know what'll happen. Because then I learned how to just lie on my back and float if I have to,
Mhm.
just to catch a breath. And I'm like, okay, I can handle this. So that's how it is. But such a dangerous thing like swimming, and that too in a river, I learned it by just like asking one good question, and then the rest of it is like, I'll figure this out. Doing. I did not learn swimming on a book, on an app, on YouTube, but I learned in the water because that's the only place you can learn swimming. Okay? A lot of people like swimming stroke experts on the land. You know how ridiculous you look when you do this in front of me with your intellectual knowledge and no practical application.
Mm.
But according to the Upanishads, this is how you look. Why are you doing that? Do it in the water. You'll be floating. Why are you doing this here? What dog paddle are you doing around? That's how I see people. I'm like, why are you dog paddling? And never gotten in the water, man. So, I mean, it takes a hero to live a heroic life. And I want everyone to be heroes. Why is it the privilege of a few? Whoever wants to be a hero can be a hero. You have my permission. Go ahead and do it. Baba will respect you.